Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy, S43, the one and only. And I just want to thank you all for all of the nice things y'all said about the montage or the video. Um, if you couldn't tell, it probably is. It's more than likely the last video game montage I'll ever make. From here on out, I'm pretty much just going to be messing around with actual footage or video game footage. I think the first thing I'm going to do is take the entire Bill quote and make a whole video for that, and I'll also upload the two different mini edits separately. But yeah, I definitely want to take the entire Bill quote from Kill Bill Volume 2 and then put some more video to that. That montage, it took months and hours upon hours of just listening and rewatching and just hitting the M key on what I think should be synced. And a lot of it was actually natural, like the Superman references in the middle in the second song. That just, honestly, I didn't even think of that. Like, I was editing and then it just literally came to me. It's like somebody up in the clouds told me what to do. Hardly any of that was planned. But yeah, this Thursday, I'm doing this Thursday night. It's a pretty intense day. LeBron and Dwayne Wade showed up. Man, when their backs are against the wall, they perform like no one else in a long time performed. I think on the road after a loss in the playoffs, they're like 5-0 or 6-0 and they win by like 18. Some incredible stat that's just like, wow, like this team does not lose 2 games in a row. They counter everything, and hopefully they can keep it going for 2 more games and get 2 W's. And then at midnight, my mom and dad and I went and saw Man of Steel. And like I said, did I make it clear publicly that I did not watch after the initial trailer, where it's just basically quotes and the cape and pretty much nothing. After that initial trailer, I didn't watch one trailer. I closed my eyes every single time. And I'm glad I did that, because that movie, ignore what every negative critic or review says, because they're just incorrect. And I've said this before, some opinions can just be flat out wrong. And if anybody thinks that movie isn't good, they're just out of their mind. I mean, it has a lower score than Fast and Furious 6 right now. So, I don't know what Zack Snyder, if he cares about that or not, but if he means anything, I think it's easily one of, if not the best, action movie ever made. The visuals, people thought Peter Jackson could give you visuals. No, Zack Snyder can give you visuals, and the pacing and the speed of the fighting sequences, it's like no other movie. It's tenfold better than everything else. I can't remember the girl, but basically Zod's first-hand man, or even though it's a woman, she was fucking awesome. And just it's hard to explain. It was honestly like watching the perfect combination of video game, like just power and speed, and like, wow, this is sick, combined with the comic book feel of just superheroes fighting, perfectly formed into a film. Like, I mean, whenever I rewatch a superhero movie now, I'm just gonna think, why couldn't this be half as good as the action in Man of Steel? Like, I'm sure if I rewatched Spider-Man right now, it's Toby fucking 5'2" ass Maguire throwing punches, I would just be like, this is the lamest thing I've ever seen. Because the action in Man of Steel is just that good. It's somebody on that team had to have been influenced in a large way by video games or just some kind of, source other than film, because it doesn't look like any other movie. The action scenes, it isn't like any other movie ever made. Of course, Zack Snyder did 300, but 300 did not have a hundredth of the speed that this movie had, and the editing complements it very, very well. You can tell what's going on. The continuity is there. And another thing that I really, really liked is during like the epic scenes, the camera or point of view would zoom in and zoom out and focus, even though it was animated, and it was basically the exact same thing as some of the cutscenes in Mass Effect 3. When you fight the Reapers and it's the space battle. It zooms in and like focuses while zooming in, just like Mass Effect 3, but they do it a lot more, and it's executed to perfection, and it just feels so real, even though everything is CG. And another thing that stands out is you never really notice that it's completely fake. Like, you never get that sensation. Like, if you watch Matrix Reloaded, there's some scenes where Neo fights the Smiths, and Neo's completely 100% animated, and you're just thinking, it looks cool in real life, and then he's 100% animated, and it's like, why wouldn't the whole movie should just be whole animated? And then it'll cut back to like real life, and it's just like, it doesn't really work. But in Man of Steel, it looks like Henry Cavill, and it looks like Zod, and all of those fools. You can tell. I mean, of course, it's not actually them, but their faces. It's real. It's one of the it's taking words out of my mouth that don't actually make any sense. I mean, y'all thought that montage might have been good. Go watch the movie. Go watch the movie. Watch it by yourself if you have to. If you're forever alone, like me, watch it by yourself. It's worth it. In every way. It's greatness. It takes a while to start. There's quite a bit of flashbacks, but they're edited to perfection within the story. There is no 12 months later and like a fucking shot of like New York City and then Lois Lane. Like, it is just so well done. And the reviewers saying, it doesn't have the wit of the Avengers, and it doesn't have the comedy of Iron Man. Like, it's Superman. Does it need to have the wit or the comedy of those? No. And then they're comparing it to Batman, and for any retard out there who thinks Batman could take Superman, let me hear your thoughts after seeing the movie. I want to see Batman take one of the punches that those fools could throw. Oh, but he'll just have kryptonite. Just please, Batman is a total loser. Okay, so that movie, man, I want to see it again. I really do. It was just, it's hard to put words together after seeing that, because you can't base the action. I stopped the recording like an idiot because one of my keys is like sticking out of my keyboard. But yeah, it's hard to describe something you've never seen before. It was just, it has raised the bar in so many levels, in so many ways. Like, if they ever make a Flash movie, they need to take every person of that team and let them do that movie, because the Flash is as fast as those fools, and oh my god, if they make that movie, oh man. I also saw the 300 trailer, the sequel, that looks sick. Oh man, that was like the only good trailer. Actually, the one for Paranoia was good because Amber Heard as a brunette is like a 47 out of 10. Before I go, the song playing right now is one of the songs I'm going to use for an Avenger video. It's pretty funny. I haven't told too many people this. I actually didn't make it in to the ASU main film program, the film and media program, and that experience back in February, and that's actually when I started editing the montage, was just something else. They required a few essays, some recommendations, and a piece, like a screenplay or a movie you made, or an editing reel. So of course I made an editing reel, and I combined the Mass Effect 3 video, the Harry Potter one, the Cloverfield one, and the one I did for the montage, the intro. I hadn't made the Sandlot quote one yet. I just did that probably back in March maybe, or April. So I submit all that stuff, and then like weeks later I'd have like an interview where they like film it. Bunch of fucking nerds. It's like 7 people, and they're asking me these bullshit questions. Like, you know, one of the professors, I took 2 of his classes in one semester, and one of them was Spielberg and Lucas, and then the other one was Intro to Screenwriting. And, you know, one would think the screenwriting class was more important than the Spielberg one. And I ended up getting like a 97 in that class. Got like an A on everything I submitted. Wrote some pretty good screenplays, actually. And he was asking me questions about why I got a C+ in Spielberg and Lucas. And it was just like, you know, that class was so stupid. I've told a few boys this, that you know, some of the questions on the test are like, what does Spielberg mean in German? And it means playmount. But, you know, who gives a fuck? You know, I want to know what makes them so successful. Not what his name means in German, or in Hebrew, or whatever the fuck language it was. Oh my god, like that class was a joke. All we did was watch all their movies and never talked about what made them better. And they just talked the behind the scenes and the making of Jaws and all of the bullshit that they went through. It's like, that's awesome, you know. So I didn't really learn anything in that class that would help me as a filmmaker. But as far as the results of the interview and process, I talked to the main dude, and the first thing he says is that my submission was a video game mashup. And I'm sitting there in his office thinking, like, what is this guy smoking? It was about a 9.5 minute reel of 4 different videos, and the first one was the Mass Effect 3 one, and it was the only video game footage in the thing, so 2/9 of it was video games. So at this point I'm thinking they didn't watch it. It's just total, you know, what the fuck. So I end up retaliating with, you know, only the first video of the editing reel submitted was of a video game. The rest of it wasn't. And then he backtracks and fucking spills spaghetti and says, well, it didn't really feel like you were telling a story. And at this point I'm thinking, you know, everything, all of my hard work, well, maybe not, not all of my work was hard at ASU, but there's plenty of it. I'm just thinking this has all been a waste of time. If he really thinks that the Kill Bill quote wasn't a story, I mean, he's telling a story to fucking Beatrix Kiddo, for crying out loud. He's literally telling a story, and I just provided the images. But my submission wasn't telling a story. Go ahead and re-watch the Mass Effect 3 video, telling me that's not telling a story. You know, let's see, what did I name that? Oh my god, what? I named the Mass Effect 3 video Who You Fight For, where I showed different races all in danger, and I tried to show Shepard, you know, trying to save them, and the Reapers were clearly in sync with the evil in the song, and it was clearly a story. And then I had the Cloverfield one, which, you know, if you follow, it's not that hard to tell where the story is. And then the Harry Potter one, The Boy Who Lived. Really, there's no story in that. The Boy Who Lived, that is the story. I'm showing Harry Potter and some of his most desperate moments against Voldemort and the dragon and, you know, other clips, but there's no story within these videos. So, you know, they strongly recommended that I apply next semester, but no, fuck them. I'm getting out of there by next year, by spring of next year, and I'm done with that fucking rookie ass film program. So, and I don't really know what to do, to be honest, because I still have zero experience with After Effects and Final Cut, and that's all that movie makers do. But I think I've clearly shown that I have some ability. So it's going to be an interesting couple of years soon. I am not prepared. But man, that movie, man, I want to just see it again right now. I would go back. It's 4:32. I'd just go back to the theater and be like, yo, you want to load this bad boy back up? Let me just watch it again. So, yeah, one hell of a Thursday. Tiger Woods can't putt. You can't win on slow greens. I'm sure there's stats out there that just prove that he dominates tournaments when the putting greens are fast, and when they're slow, he struggles. So, I'm not expecting a win, but you never know with that guy. Is it wrong to extremely dislike somebody for having a different opinion on something as simple as a movie? Because I just watched the Pretty Much It review of the movie, and it's, I don't know, it just really gets to me. That's one of many flaws that I have. But quick shout out to Hans Zimmer and the scene with Kevin Costner. Man, he was incredible. I did shed a tear in the movie, so that's rare. That's a rare sighting for Mike Syphax. But, you know, people will voice their opinions, and fuck them.